Greetings. This is continuing from page 7 to stress a further point. I left this out undone to see if you can work it out. So we'll talk about it now. Okay. I told you the shuttle has to be balanced. If there's anything else that you want to work out, you contact me. Okay. Here you got the engine. If you notice carefully, for it to be balanced, there has to be one down here somewhere here, wherever it's the balanced position, maybe lower or higher. Okay. So the measurements between there and there has to be in accordance to the balance of this and that. So it might be higher or lower, the same spot, whatever. Okay. So then, here, where's my pen now? Here, you've got a lot of chords in one place, dead center. It's hollow in the ball bearing here. There's one ball bearing here, two ball bearings there, in place here. Sorry, one ball bearing, but it's got a hollow, then it's got an inner layer and an outer layer. Okay, and both layers are kind of like not joint together. So one layer is in the other layer, and the inward layer is hollow. So in the inward layer, you've got all chords, all different types of chords that is just attached to the engine for the engine to work. Now you can use non-chords if you get this type of technology, which will work better. But if you haven't got it and you've got to use chords connected from the engine to the fuel or wherever it's got to be connected mechanically, whatever. Okay. The chords can easily not be tangled by following this principle. Okay, down here with the engine is just 1, 2, and down here somewhere, wherever it is, 3, 4 on both sides. So the chords will run directly dead center. Every chord is put kind of like this. That's 1 chord, 2 chord, 3 chord, 4 chord, whatever, but in one place, stuck together. 2 separate ones loose. So one will be on one side, the other on the other side. Okay, and the chords will run directly into that engine, and that engine which will cause the shell to rotate one way. The other 2 engines, the chords will come up here into that engine and on the other engine, and cause the helicopter to rotate the other way. Okay, all mechanical parts have to be done in the center here. Okay, so the hull has to be pretty thick to fit everything in. Okay, so is then homework for use. How do you get the propeller? The propeller's right around the shuttle to have chords attached, going dead center or wherever it has to go, in a way that will not get tangled. Homework, trying to figure it out. Because if you make it wrongly, the chords can get tangled and rip apart. Okay? And you've got disaster happening. It will happen immediately, actually. Okay? So, another further point is, here's where the bearing is. You've got one inward layer, which is hollow, and an outward layer. It's not joined together. That is, the inward layer goes inside it. But in between the 2 layers, you've got ball bearings from top to bottom, right inside the layer of the ball bearing, wherever that may be. Here, I've got to look at the plane anyway. So the purpose is that the inward ball barrier will cause either the shell or the helicopter to rotate one way, while the outward layer will have further ball bearings from the top to the bottom, wherever they can be placed, in both cases, to cause a propeller part through the ball bearing, probably the dead center one, to rotate the opposite way. How do you get the propellers doing the same principle for the engine part? Through the chords. It's usually done through the chords. Okay, let me think about this. Okay, you got a round figure here. You got on the floor. You got chords coming up down this way. So they have to run right in here and straight into that engine. One of these 2 engines, whichever one is used for the floor, for it to stand still. So through here, it'll probably come right. Hang on a minute. It'll probably come right up in the tunnel and connect it into some engine here. I haven't worked that out yet, but give me a go for a moment. Okay, you've got the circle here. It comes into the thing like this, goes straight up. Okay, so we'll have to be dead center somewhere here attached. You can have chords going in this way to get to wherever part of the engine he has to go. the engine that moves the floor, because it will rotate together rather than tangle, whichever one you use for the floor. Okay, so continue from this. Now it's based on that principle. You have to put a bit of philosophy into it, a bit of changes if you have to, a bit of this and a bit of that, and you will come up with maybe better ideas or similar or the same. It doesn't really matter, but I mean, as long as it works. But as you can see, as future technology increases, it will work, because in the future there'll be, if it hasn't already been made, there'll be machines made without any cords, like remote control or whatever. As you can see here, clearly states, since it is a mothership, there will be room to transport as many people for each mission, sowing animals, trees, birds, insects, maybe fish, okay? So supplies, etc., tools, so on, all jobs are needed to form. So every job on planet Earth is needed, both in the shuttle, if this was a shuttle, okay, and to create life in other parts of the cosmos. Okay, to form a balance in the ship's journey and success for the mission, that is for create life in other planets. It must be related clearly to the things and lifestyle on identical to Earth's, so as to take just enough for the journey. If more people more people need to come, make more ships, spaceships, or even if more supplies have to be made, put them in different ships. So you can have, for example, if this is the ship, you can have, one with planes. You can have one with some other stuff in it. One supplies, of course. Each one has to have food and water for the astronauts. But I mean, you can have different supplies to different ships, okay, or in one ship. Or use this one module for transporting their so on, okay? If so, you can also use the important things that are needed to survive and fulfill the journey. What does that say here? With 1, 2, etc. What does that word say? I can't remember. Ships, I think it may be. And make more ships, spaceships having one or more supply. Same or different measurements as this one. I mean, as the big one or the medium-sized one or the small one. Okay. So you can make smaller ships, or make them small and make many trips, or that should be big, or make them big and as many trips, or medium-sized. Carrying a new supply, so on. You can use all three for success, but not need it. So you can have all three motherships in, 3 ships in there, in one ship, or 3 different ships, or you can have one. Okay. Note, important: any contract that I charge is due to the fact of an old update. In the final update, I have decided with True God, which is here. Okay. It's right there. It's the same copyright as here. Okay, this is a smaller way, so we put it here. Okay, here you got on behalf of God Almighty, Emmanuel, Holy, Perfect, Heaven and Earth. The work given to Christian, Australian, and Greek authorities and space mission in hope the Earth works in together with all space missions and authorities in peace. So the authorities that I'm talking about the government authorities, as you can see in the other copyright. Okay, the government authorities. It's up to them if they want to. It's up to the Australian and Greek authorities what they want to do with it. But it's just advice to work with everybody on planet Earth. So it's actually given to you free of charge. It's like, for example, if there's a picture of me here, okay, and say there's a picture of the Greek and Australian governments here somewhere, and God is here, instead of him giving them to you, this work that is, he's given them to me and said, pass them on to here. So it's not different than God giving them to you, is it? So it belongs to you. I'm only doing the right thing because I'm not a crook, and I do what God says. And since He says to give it to you guys, it will be given to you as soon as possible, planned according to God's ways as soon as the work is finished, unless He tells me otherwise in an earlier stage, but it wouldn't be later. Okay, according to what God has said to me. Continue from previous page. Some picture, but this is a mothership, as small or big needed, so I do not need to draw it again. Okay, so all these ships that were drawn here, you can have is a few examples of what you can do, and you can join it into one ship. So it's hard to put all the information in one place. I put it on different places to join into one ship. Okay. Thank you very much. May God bless your journey, and good luck with everything. In anything that you do in life, if you're listening to this, may God be with you, bless you, and perfect you, and help you in every way that you want. And if you're involved in a space mission or in government or something, may God be with you too. I'm sure He will. Eventually He's with everybody, but I mean, sometimes it takes longer for people, for God to work than some that are earlier. This is because it's about being born again, okay? Like in the natural birth, when a child comes out of the mother's womb, it takes 9 months for it to come out of the mother's womb. It takes the moment of conception that it's alive in the mother's womb. So as a child being born again could be at any time. It's not the same as the physical birth. It means it has to be at the right time for that person. It could be at any age. It could be 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, not at all these ages, but the right age for that person. God picks the right time for that person. To some, it may be at one age, to others at a different age, to some at a similar age, less or more, older or younger, same age, whatever. So you're all equal in the eyes of God, really. It's just that we get born again at different times. That's all. Amen. Okay, this is Art of the Cross, which is www.artofthecross.com. Have a look at the site.